Hello and welcome to the Life is Storytelling podcast, Gamecast, actually, today, as we are going over the Developer Direct 2026. It is January 22nd of the year I just mentioned. We just got our first real showcase of the year. Xbox has been doing this the last few years, and we have a lot to talk about. Both a lot of things that were obviously known, because they always show us like what's expected, and then like they have the last few years, they had a little bit of a surprise.
Sometimes little
A little
surprises,
bit of
man.
surprise.
Yeah.
Last year was all like all that Ninja Gaiden stuff, and then this year
Right.
very different. But we'll get into that here in just a minute. But before we do that, I'm your host Chris Pierce, joined by my co-host Ernest Gonzalez, or Kane and Fable. How you doing, Ernest?
Doing good, baby. Doing good.
First recording in
It's
the
it's
house.
different now.
Hmm.
It's different now. Yeah.
We are literally just
Yeah.
rooms apart.
I have to have this headphone in because otherwise I'd hear you down the hall.
That's fair.
You know?
I can
Yeah.
catch you a little bit every now and then, but yeah,
But we're roommates now, and they
we are
were
roommates.
roommates.
And
Yeah,
like because
man.
our walls
And
are the same color, this is almost gonna seem like we're. It's almost like we're right
yeah,
next to each other.
yeah. Actually, Chris recorded this, and then I came through and filled in the gaps after.
And
Yeah.
he did such a good job. I think we haven't gotten there yet, obviously, uh,
Yeah.
but we'll see there. But obviously, a lot to talk about, man. Lots. This is our first real. This is our first piece of gaming content for the year that is 2026. We took some time off there, obviously for holiday, and then another holiday, my birthday. So yeah, it's been good. It's been chill as we are exiting out of January. But yeah, I mean, might as well just get into it. Because literally, the game they
Might
opened
as
up
well.
with, we have two doses of playground games. Because they're making both Fable, which we'll get into in a bit. But first, they showed us Forza Horizon 6. It will be set in Japan. Obviously, Forza Horizon 5 was a huge hit critically and like, I mean, everywhere. It was very popular.
Hmm.
But we did get a release date. It's going to be coming out. It's May. Is it 19th?
Yes.
May 19th. Okay. On PC and Xbox, and it will be coming out later this year, still 2026. Just no specific date for PlayStation. And that is going to be an interesting thing to discuss here because that will come up again later. But, Ernest, we don't talk a lot about racing games. This is one we do. It comes up for sure. I did play a
Right.
little bit of Horizon, Forza Horizon 5, because it was on Game Pass. This, of course, will also be on Game Pass. What did you think of what they showed here?
So first, let me say that playground games, like, they got range,
They
okay?
do,
Because
obviously.
because one game here is so different from the other,
Yeah.
but this one in particular, man, there's just so much detail, and like you could tell like love like put into every single bit of this game as they continue through the showcase and break one thing down after another. Look at this aspect of the game and look at this aspect of the game. It's only more and more clear, like that they like love doing this shit.
Hell yeah.
And
It's a playground
man,
game.
it shows. Man, it shows. This is by far one of the most beautiful games out there.
It's
Like,
gorgeous.
when it comes to realism, like, I'm not sure anybody's necessarily topping what we have here,
Yeah.
and it's to the point where you see the dude like driving the car and everything, and then like they're showing the landscapes, and they're showing some of the farms on the side of the road, and like the cabbage, just like every single vein in
Everything's
that leaf,
detailed.
you can
Yeah.
see it, man. It is beautiful. But on top of that, it really looks like they're putting a lot into the way that the cars drive. And I mean, that's the main thing. It could be
Right.
beautiful, but if the cars don't drive well, then what are we doing
What are we
here,
doing
right?
here? Yeah.
And like, yeah, man, like the way that they're going to be affected, like each car is affected differently by the weather and
Mm.
stuff like this. Like, again, the attention to detail in this game, it's the picture that should be next to whatever book tells you what attention to detail is. What is that? A thesaurus or something? I
Yes.
don't know. Yeah, is that
I mean,
it? Is
well, a
that it?
dictionary would probably have that, but
Yeah,
yes.
and then just Forza right there. So, but yeah, we don't talk about a lot of racing games. I used to play a lot of like Need for Speed and stuff like that,
Mm.
but I I really want to play this game.
Yeah.
They really sold me. And then the thing that really, really sold me was, they're like, you can just go to these car meets, you can go out there and just cruise and stuff like that. And they show these two cars like racing down, like drifting down a hill, and one of them is the initial D, like Toyota Corolla and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And like, oh, dude, it just, I like, if I wasn't sold before, I was sold then,
Mhm.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, man, it looks awesome. I think everything here looks incredible. Just because it's going to be a metric I use for something we say here in a bit for something else.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this isn't something that would have made him automatically like if it wasn't on Game Pass. I don't know. Maybe I'd wait for it on sale, but I don't know immediately. But that is more towards the type of game, not what they showed. Because yeah, I don't
Mm-hmm.
play a lot of racing games. Granted, I played two last year, but yeah. Uh,
The little kart racers,
Hey
Kirby
man,
Air
hey
Raiders,
bro. Oh,
and
I didn't know. No, I did
is that
not
what
play
it's called?
Kirby Air Riders.
Riders, Air Riders. Yeah,
I did not play the
Air
Kirby Air Riders.
Raiders.
I play.
That's a whole different game.
I played the award nominated ones, which were Sonic and Mario. Um,
Oh, Sonic. My bad. Okay. Yeah.
Justin would kill you. Um, but yeah, no, it looks incredible. And like I said, I did play some for Forza Horizon 5. Why can't I just say the name? What's Forza?
You're doing
But
your best though, and we
I'm
appreciate you.
trying. I'm trying.
Yeah.
But yeah, so just like what they showed here, with it being on Game Pass, I'm for sure gonna try it out. I'm for sure gonna hop in there because this looks gorgeous. They did say there's gonna be a great attention to the music along with it. I'm curious what they're gonna have for that because there was quite a variety for Forza Horizon 5. I have to enunciate. So obviously, with it being centered in Japan, I do imagine they're gonna focus on music that's like from the area, from the culture, stuff like that. So we'll see, because there's a lot you can pull from. But yeah, everything they showed here, they showed everything they needed to. It looks beautiful. Everything looks like it's handling well. We always make the joke about how like it's always a car game winning best audio design or something like that.
Right.
And I mean, you hear it, you hear the tires going, you hear them
You
shifting
do.
gears, and
Yeah,
it's incredible.
they took a minute or two in there when they were showing the guy like designing the sound and turning
Yeah,
up the
literally
volume
the
to
audio
this or
design and
that
like
or whatever.
coordinating.
Like,
Yeah,
and in just that little spurt, like you hear the difference of the tires
yeah.
going over like different roads and stuff like that, and it's all just so. I keep using the word detailed, but that's what it
I mean, that's
is,
all it
man.
is.
Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
so
yeah.
realistic. Yeah, it's amazing. It's
And I don't
amazing.
remember the specific number. I want to say it was around 140, 150 that they said about the number of cars that will be available at launch, which is supposedly their biggest launch lineup, which is huge. Obviously, I don't know those, but if they're pretty and they have good stats, I'm in there, man. I'm gonna be right there. But for me, what I'm gonna mainly be looking forward to here, obviously the music is a big part of it because that's gonna just be part of your like ambiance as you're driving through. But the huge
Mhm.
open world, just traveling through Japan. When I first learned it was gonna be in Japan, I was like, there has to be a place where you have like cherry blossoms just flowing around, and boom, there you go.
Yeah,
Um, and like it looks awesome. Like again,
dude.
everything Ernest has said about attention to detail, it's everywhere. Like we play a lot of open world games. We literally have an episode talking about our favorite open world games. But I mean, some open world, not all open worlds are built the same. Some feel
Mhm.
empty, and like you could. There's a reason you could make this world feel empty because it should just be you and the cars, but it doesn't feel empty. At least from what
Right.
they showed. Could be curated. We'll see. I doubt it though. But yeah, no, it's incredible. I do think everything here looks really cool, and I look forward to trying this out. Um,
Yeah.
and then
It
obviously,
also it looks like they're keeping a lot of the things that work because like in that open world, the whole build mode and the
yeah,
building is co-op and stuff like that. That you the campaign sounds pretty interesting as well.
yeah, yeah,
Like you don't start off as a racer, you start off as a tourist just trying to get your foot in the door and like just like level up from there and
yep,
stuff. So I think I definitely want to play that campaign at the very least. And I
yeah.
imagine if we're both playing at the same time, we end up,
We can do
trying
online.
out the
Yeah,
co-op
yeah.
and stuff like that. Yeah, yeah.
Because I
So
didn't catch the specifics. Granted, there are a lot of ways to do online with this specific type of game, but they did say that it is going to be a smoother transition into the online multiplayer and stuff like that. So I mean,
gotta
that's what you
love
could
it.
want. It's what you
Yeah,
could want,
yeah.
man. So that's
Just
very cool.
quality of life.
But again,
Um, yeah, man, for
and
sure.
literally, it's right around the corner. March. Like we're so close. Like we're about to be done with January. Literally, we have a week, and then we're going to be able to say it's coming out next month. So there you go. But moving on, we got to talk about this next one because it was about the year before last Game Awards. We got an announcement called Beast of Reincarnation. The big thing for that was it's a game being created by the not Pokemon Company. Game Freak, that makes the Pokemon games, and it looks nothing like Pokemon. And
They were kind of like the Pokemon Company before the Pokemon Company was a thing. You know, that's
I
what we would
guess
think
so.
of if
Like
somebody said
to my
that.
understanding, I guess I don't
So
really know what the Pokemon Company does. Because they're again not developing it. I guess they just distribute, but that's Nintendo. What
yeah,
are they gonna do?
because it's not just video. Like Game Freaks, that's who makes their video
Right,
games
and
and
the
stuff
Pokemon
like that.
Company is like
And
all
then
of Pokemon
they
and
do
everything. Like,
all the
yeah, yeah,
Pokemon, yeah, the trading cards, the theme parks, all that
right,
type of
right,
stuff,
right, right,
right?
right. I guess
Yeah,
Pokemon
yeah.
is a
But
lifestyle at this point.
these
But yeah,
guys are so tied to one of the most like popular franchises out
an
there. It's really
iconic
cool to see them
franchise,
like
I would say.
step
Yeah,
out of their box, right?
for sure. And like here, it's not a creature capture type of thing, but there are creatures. And I will say, we only see a handful of creatures here, but they all look really cool. And I like to think that they're keeping the others under their hat. I really hope so. But what we did see here, it looks really, really awesome. Beast of Reincarnation is also going to be day one Game Pass, but it will be available on PlayStation. It will be available on Xbox. It will be available on PC. But it will be launching summer of 2026. So obviously a little bit longer than March, but just summer gets here really fast. At least for us who cover games, like
Yeah,
it will be
yeah.
right there. But Ernest, what did you think of Beast of Reincarnation?
So it is really interesting. I love to see that. Like we've talked about it plenty of times, where studios kind of stay with one franchise for a long time, and
Santa
that's all
Monica.
that they're making. And like I can clearly see that these are talented people, and I want to see what else they have to offer. And now here is Game Freak coming out, doing their own thing,
Yep.
and doing something that looks interesting.
Yep.
Because while we do have a lot of games like this, like action RPGs where you're out there, going down a skill tree, fighting bosses with big health bars, and there's a parry system and a dodge system, stuff like that. Like we've played games like this before, but it definitely feels unique in the way that it's laid out, the world, and the way that the plants and animals are kind of one and the same. That design is so interesting,
Yep.
along with the gameplay and the way that the plants are assisting you as well. Because I
Yeah.
guess a lot of your abilities are built off of that. You're going to use plants to like traverse in interesting ways and stuff. So yeah, man, I am like very interested in it. And on top of all of that, it really looks like there's something to this story as well. Like
Yep.
you don't build a world like this detailed and stuff like that, and not give it something to a journey to go on in
Yeah.
that world.
For sure. For sure.
So it kind of reminds me. I was thinking of Neva, like the
Hmm.
whole
I
time
see that.
that I
I
was
get
watching.
that.
It's like you got the wolf companion. There's
Yeah.
a light in the forest,
Gotta have your light.
and they did show you up front. At least it's not going to surprise you when the wolf gets hurt a
Yeah.
little when they're
Right.
injured
Right.
out
Right.
there and stuff like that. Because as soon as that came on the screen, Chris was like, "Okay, I'm not playing this game." it,
Jokingly, but yes, yes,
it
yes.
sucks when the dog gets hurt,
It
man.
does. It does.
So, but yeah, man, it looks super interesting. I'm really excited to see what this is gonna come with, man. The
Same. I'm
experience.
very much looking forward to this too. Again, day one Game Pass, and this is what I was talking about by bringing back that metric I was referring to. So if this was not coming to Game Pass, I would still buy it day one. First of all, I'm a huge Pokemon fan. I'm usually there day one for those, whether they be great, whether they be okay. Yeah, it's just how it works. But I also was there for it's called like Pocket Jockey, to just show you that they really are a diverse set of folks, where it's like solitaire meets horse racing, um, and it's just the coolest thing I've ever seen where you implement something with horse racing that wasn't there before, in game form. Much
Which
better than
apparently is the closest that Chris has ever gotten to playing actual solitaire.
yeah,
And
yeah.
that's crazy to me. That's crazy to me because I grew up in a generation, and you're not that much younger than me, first of all. But I grew up in a generation where, like, you finish your work early at school, you get to get on the computer to play some solitaire or something
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
that.
I don't
If
know.
not the pinball game on Windows, you know what I
And I
mean?
don't even know what you're talking about with
But
that. It
my
is what it is,
goodness,
man.
what?
But yeah, but yeah, no, Game Freak being able to do this, it looks awesome. It looks like it's gonna be
Yeah.
really, really cool. And like I said, if it wasn't on Game Pass, I'd still buy it because the studio name carries so much here. I understand
Hmm.
Pokemon has garnered, and understandably so, a lot of criticism these last few years. But what this should show you is it's not necessarily Game Freak's fault. Uh, Partially, in terms of what they're making, it is partially, but it's still just like look. What my first thought when this trailer started was I was like, when you take the Nintendo away from Game Freak, if you've watched Naruto, there's this point where Rock Lee takes these weights off his legs and he actually strikes Gara, and I'm like, this is that. Oh shit! And I was like, no way, this game's coming to Nintendo. But I would not be surprised if it ends up coming to the Switch 2 later on.
Right.
Because I mean,
Yeah.
they have the better console now and whatnot, and maybe I don't know. Obviously, there's some type of deals going on if this is going to be on Game Pass day one, so we'll see how all that shakes out. But dude, this looks so good. I didn't see anything in here that made me question anything. Like the one thing I was talking about, the little gripe was just like we're not seeing a lot of creatures. But I regularly say the most notable one I can think of was like Spider-Man. Don't show me all your stuff. Do not
Right.
show me all your stuff.
Right.
So I just hope there is because obviously this is going to be very new for them. Like they have just been the Pokemon makers for so long, with a
Right.
few other things here and there, but still primarily that's like their revenue. Like that's their money. That's how they were able to do this. So it's gonna be very different, and I do wish them all the best. But everything they showed looks so cool, and even like the small amount of creatures we do see, they look awesome. They're very detailed in the way they use their attacks, their abilities. Again, that harmony between creature and plant. And yeah, dude, it looks so good. I'm so ready.
Yeah.
You're playing as Emma and Ku. That Ku is the wolf and Emma is you, the girl. And yeah, this looks awesome. I can't wait till this comes out. And again, we we love to see a studio do something else, swing at something else. Like I
Yeah.
regularly get to
Yeah.
talk about Capcom doing different things. We get to talk about a studio just doing all crazy different things here in a little bit. But just it's just you love to see it, especially with the state that the gaming industry is in right now. A lot of people try things like I understand, not maybe not the best example, but like literally uh Concord was a like
Mm.
it was like a fun like I would call that closer to double A than triple A in terms of hero shooter, but there is a space for that. There should be a space for that. Because like, dude, if you look at the PS2, Xbox 360 generation, it's like all double A. It's just stuff like that,
Yeah.
and it's a unique spin on something. And the way they were building that universe and everything, I thought it was gonna be very cool. Well, I thought they had something very cool. We all saw the writing on the wall when that announced, but still, just an example. But then you come over to somebody like Capcom. I love to bring up the example of like, dude, they made Exoprimal around the time they've been releasing these Resident Evil remakes, new Resident Evils. We just got what's the tactical one that we played last year or year before?
Oh,
Is it Kunitsugami?
Kunitsugami, is that it?
It's
I
like
thought
a
it that
something.
because it popped into my head and I was like, no, that's
Oh,
something else. But it is. Yeah, it is.
yeah, yeah,
Kunitsugami.
yeah. Where
Yeah.
it's like a tower defense.
Path
Um,
of the Goddess.
Yeah, Kunitsugami Path of the Goddess. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's just so like, and I know that thing didn't sell gangbusters. Like I
Right.
mean, like in a like review, it didn't review poorly. Like it got some solid eights and stuff like that out there. Um,
Right.
but then I mean, they just come around and they're like, okay, now we got to do the blockbuster again, and we get a new Resident Evil or Street Fighter Six stuff like that. They
And
know how
like
to do it.
the thing about Kunitsugami too is like the highest praise that we were given for it was like its originality.
Right.
It's so different than
You see
anything
some
I had
things you
played before, you
recognize,
know?
but it's blended in a way that's like it might as well be completely new. And
Right. Yeah.
the beautiful thing about that with like especially in terms of art because these are art forms is when we see we talk you brought it up as Breath of the Wild all the time also with Elden Ring when you get to see the effect that one awesome piece of art has on other things. Like obviously it's kind of a meme right now to be like, man, this is like Breath of the Wild. I get it. But at the same time, like I don't know if we would have Elden Ring without Breath of the Wild. Like I'm just saying,
Right,
I
right,
I
right.
don't know. And then obviously Elden Ring is a huge force in itself. And dude, we just got it as like one of like the most like award-winning game last year. What is Expedition 33 going to influence? So like
Right.
it, you love to see it, and going back to what we're talking about here with Beast of Reincarnation, you only get that when you let these creative minds do their thing. Um, and I understand it's also a business. I can only understand that to a certain extent. These are people. These are people that are
Yeah,
doing passionate work that takes hours and hours of their days, lives, and just like it's a lot. Like we hear about crunch all the time, but here we are, Game Freak giving us something very original to their studio. And yeah, it's in a genre that we've seen before, but like, dude, give us your flavor, man. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward very much forward to this. It's gonna be awesome. Do you have anything else to say about Beast of Reincarnation before we move on to the next one?
not too much. Just looking forward to the summer, man.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
summer 2026, and I mean, it's gonna get here so quick. Next, so they gave us a surprise. They gave us a surprise. We got Double Fine. They did release Keeper last year. Primarily, their claim to fame is Psychonauts 1 and 2, as well as they have a VR game as well. All part of the same story. But Double Fine is releasing. First of all, we got to learn a little bit about their creative process, and I honestly think that was so cool. Where they do
Yeah.
have like anybody can pitch a game. Certain ones get pushed forward to like you make a demo of this, and we're gonna try it out. And they showed like a little highlight reel of all these different things. Um, and then it's just like then we pick one and we expand on it, and that becomes a game. And I was like, no way, you're owned by Xbox. That's crazy. That's so cool. And it's literally doing what I just said about like freaking Capcom, but on such a like a more like frequent scale because we don't know
Right.
that means there's other things in the like that are cooking back there we don't know. But we got our first look at Kiln. Ernest, what kind of game is this?
It is a pottery party brawler.
How dare you skip it? It is an online pottery. Damn it, that's why you got to say all the words. It is an online pottery party brawler. Where you play as little spirits that are making pottery. It's almost like a hermit crab kind of situation because you start out all naked, stuff like that, but you're building the shell rather than finding it. And your different things that you make will have their own abilities and stuff like that, uniqueness to how they will move, how they will function. And you will have, there's like only a couple of different game modes at launch, but they are planning on supporting this once it does release and giving us more and updates and cosmetics and stuff like that. And this came out of nowhere. Like it came out of nowhere. They don't have to do this. They do not have to do this, but I respect the hell out of them. And the announcement was also quite funny because Tim Schafer, what a guy. He's
That
hilarious.
is hilarious. Yeah.
He
Yeah.
literally had that girl. Okay, now that you've made the pottery, now we want to destroy. It's so good. It's so good. But Ernest, obviously, this was like the crazy thing that they showed us. We didn't expect to see here. What did you think of what they showed?
I love this as the surprise one.
Mm,
You know, I love that I knew nothing going in, and it's coming in spring. You know, like
yeah,
it's not something we have to wait a
bring
long
this year,
time for. But
2026.
this looks so interesting. It's surprisingly detailed despite its
We kept
concept.
going
You
like
know,
there's so much in there. It just
there's
kept
so much,
going.
and they just like they would like cut, and I'd be like, all right, Fable time, and they'd be like, we're also doing this. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Jesus. But yeah, it is like surprisingly detailed, and it all looks fun.
It
You know what I
does.
mean?
It looks really
Like
fun.
I've never made pottery before, but they say that it's like easily accessible. You can design your pot the way that you want,
Mhm.
and they have like different classes of pot and stuff like that, and that have different moves and stuff like this.
Right.
And yeah, man, like the different game modes, the different maps and stuff. There's like Greek based ones and
Egyptian stuff like
Egyptian
that. Yeah,
based
yeah, yeah.
ones and stuff. Yeah, like there is so much to this game, and I think, I mean, all of these games that we're talking about today are going to be on Game Pass.
Right. This will also be
Why
on Game Pass.
why not get out
Oh,
there
for
and give
sure.
this game a
Yeah.
try?
And especially with us
Like,
praising the creativeness here. I mean, we got to try it. So, yeah, yeah,
and because it's just so cool. One of my notes is LOL WTF. You know, like, like that's
but literally,
I
it
love
looks fun. It looks like fun
right.
was a priority here. It looks like fun might have been implemented in making it, and that is one of the things I praised Astrobot for when we got that a couple of years back. It was just like when you and we've talked about this with movies before too, because when you get like that passion project that fires on all cylinders, where it seems like the studio really got to put their heart into it, and while you're in there, you're getting to put your heart into their creation, and just it's a good time for everybody. And then you post it online and people are going to hate. But when you have like this, just looks like fundamentally like a good solid time. Yeah,
Hmm.
this looks awesome. This looks like it. There's very little notes for you, like for anyone to even criticize something that we didn't know this was coming. We had no idea. This was just something that they tried out as a demo, and then they're like, you know what, we can expand upon this. And my God, did they?
Yeah,
It's just,
yeah.
it looks
They
awesome.
It's
It
like
looks awesome.
manifest destiny the way they expanded. It was crazy.
Forgive me for the joke, but I think this one's going to be a keeper. But Double Fine's incredible. They're doing some great work over there. I love getting a peek at because that's what this is. We praise the developer direct specifically because it's like the best thing that Xbox has done um, consistently. They have not done like anything else consistently well. Because we'll get like the coolest announcements coming to Game Pass, and then like one of those studios is dead. It's just and it honestly last
Right.
year they raised the prices of consoles. Obviously they're not the only ones, but like it's just like it's crazy times over there at Xbox, man, and it's just pretty insane. But this, the developer direct, we are here for who? The developers and the games, and this did such a good job of showing us the behind the scenes in a way that's like entertaining, charming, gets them a chance to like talk to us about what they're working on, why they're working on it, like why is this car studio making a fantasy game? And
Right.
like we
Right.
get to
Right.
learn about that because when you read that headline, you especially at least for us, we're not like I don't mean this negatively, but we're not normies. We watch the news. We keep in touch with gaming all the time. We play so many games in a year. We're just constantly in this world, in this atmosphere. And when
Like
you
keeping
just
the
read
ear on the floor in the industry
right,
and stuff.
right, right,
Yeah.
right. But when you just read this flat out like black text on the white, um, car studio making Fable, it's like, oh, is that a good idea? Like, is that gonna be
Yeah. Right.
okay? And they first of all they own it. When we get it right when we get back to the Playground Studios, they own it and everything like that. But we get to see them do that, and I think that is what is so great about the developer direct. I
Right.
also made the joke, and I 100% mean this. So Nintendo is why we have these kind of things because they were like, okay, we're gonna do our directs, and then we got our PlayStation showcases, we got our Xbox showcases, different variations of that, and it's just kind of trickled. Now something beautiful has come from that with the developer direct. I think it's insane that Nintendo's not the one that first shows us the behind the scenes for Game Freak. It's Xbox.
Yeah. 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 I never thought about that. Yeah. Because
um,
They have their own showcases and stuff for Pokemon,
True.
you know?
I mean, like, but
So,
like,
like,
even with that, like, at the point where we're having whole trailers for the sleep app that just it's just playing on your phone while you're sleeping, which is cool,
right.
very cool. I support the Pokemon movement, but just like you can make time for the people making these things, 100%. And I think this is
Right.
so great because we got to hear about again, like I was talking about with the Forza people are making a fantasy game. We're watching the Pokemon creators not make a Pokemon game, and that's
And
so
they're
exciting.
out there being able to say,
Yeah,
we know we're the
they
Pokemon
regularly brought
people,
it up.
but
Yeah.
check this out. Right.
Absolutely.
And
And it
like
just helps.
it just it's also like in the past, like showing me games that like maybe I wouldn't have been interested in, but
Right.
hearing somebody that is so passionate talk about it in the way that they do and being the most knowledgeable possible because they're the people
They're
that
the ones
made it,
making it. Yeah, yeah,
just like it sells me sometimes,
yeah.
man.
100%.
Like this is not
100%.
only great for the developer to be able to express themselves, but also good. It's just good marketing,
Hell yeah.
like
It's
these
free
people
real
are like
estate. Like,
endearing
just do
and
it.
stuff, like it's nice. It's nice. Yeah. I also love this level of look behind the scenes. Like it's
Yeah.
not like WWE Unreal or anything like that, right? Where they're giving you
We don't
like,
need to
oh,
talk about
this is how we
that.
came up
But
with the
right.
beats of this.
Right,
You know
right,
what I
right.
mean?
Right.
Like it's just like we're not, this is how I, take this sound and turn it into this sound in the
Yeah, yeah.
game or anything like that. They're just like talking about it in a passionate way, selling
We're
you
learning
on
about the
it,
creative
and
process. And it's awesome.
it's nice. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I would like to think Like obviously we only see a handful of these developers. We know they're usually big teams, or even when they're small teams, it's like, well, we while we're talking about this, we need someone making the game so it can come out when we're talking about it to come out. Um, but like I love seeing the faces. I love that we're getting a little bit funnier each year. Obviously Tim Schafer, unfair. It's a wild card.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
but it just adds spice
Well,
to it. That's so like in a world where like we're at the point where a lot of things are shared online and it's like, is that AI? Is this not AI? Stuff like that. It's so great to see something human and it's beautiful. And it's kind of wild that it's coming from like one of the most criticized places right now being Xbox. And I
right,
wish, no, I still will wish it, learn from it, Xbox. Like these are the least criticized like showcases they've been putting on, because you go to the other ones, everyone's expecting their big stuff and whatnot, and I mean that's
right.
completely valid. Look for what you're looking for. But we now have the expectation like they're gonna tell us what we're looking for here, and at this point they've done it 3 years in a row. We're gonna have to have a surprise every year. So it's just like we now have that setting there. But again, the pacing's so good. I do love that the bookends of this are the same studio. They're just working on two very different games.
Yeah.
And yeah,
You know, I want to say the last time that we saw a showcase and there wasn't like a one more thing, I think you were like, what the hell? Like you flipped the table and shit.
I
Like,
did not
you
actually
know,
flip the table, but I was about to.
you
Because,
did it,
like, have
but
your,
like you,
yeah, you need to have it. You need to have your one more thing. But that's the thing about this. Again, you set your expectation. They tell us the studios we're going to talk to, they show us what we're going to be talking to those studios about, and then you can't complain about the extra thing. Because technically, the one more thing in this setting is never going to be the last thing. It has not been because they know what they want to end the show with. We already know that people are going into this. Fable's the banger. Obviously, it's not the only one, but I'm just saying, like, it's the one they want you thinking of when you leave this. Um, but speaking of which, because I mean, we took a moment there just to talk about the showcase. Really,
right? Yeah,
talk about Fable. It's time to talk about Fable because again, we got Playground Games again, different different group of folks in that in that team, in that studio, making us not a sports car game at all. High fantasy. Okay, fantasy. I don't know. There's some creatures. It's high fantasy. But
high
visually,
enough.
for sure. Yeah, you are. But visually, this is like this is the best Fable's ever looked. Like this is insane. This is incredible. It is the same area, Albion,
Right.
that you. It's the same region and whatnot, but obviously this is completely built from the ground up. There's thousands of NPCs. You're able to interact with all of them. You're apparently able to marry any woman. Okay, I don't know if you can probably do men too, because you can create your character. So
I
I
would
don't know.
imagine.
I
Yeah,
don't know. But yeah,
I would
it's just
imagine they keep it pretty open that
and
in
you can
that
have
regard.
multiple
Yeah.
kids. You can own multiple businesses. It showed somebody at the point of like being rich with their kids running through their house and stuff like that. And I'm just like, yeah, dude,
There
yeah,
was like
this is
mad kids in there too.
yeah.
It was
There
like a
were, dude.
lot
Like,
of them.
hey
Yeah.
man, get yours, bro, get yours. But Ernest, I mean, this was the main event. This is what we were really like. We need to know. We were already pretty sold on it, but we've seen so little of it now. But now we've seen gameplay, we've seen the world, we've seen how you're going to interact
Mhm.
with the world. What do you think of what they showed us of Fable, which is set to
Uh,
release autumn of 2026?
I am already thinking very much so that this is going to be like the RPG of the year.
Oh
Like
yeah,
when it comes to role playing, like I don't know if it gets deeper than this. Like
right.
last year, I was praising
Kingdom Come.
what we call it, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and for like the role playing aspects of it,
Yep.
how everything you do is going to affect the world, and you really get
Yeah,
to
man.
make decisions here, and it's going to change things. This is the epitome of that.
Right.
Is what that feels like the most it's ever been. I love that when they talk about, because the morality system has been a thing in Fable for
Right.
so long, that you kind of go in expecting to have just like your blue or your red, like your paragon, your renegade, whatever the
Right.
situation is. And them talking about like that's not necessarily the way that we see it. There's a lot of gray areas in
Which is great.
morality as well,
Yeah.
and I love that,
Hell
dude.
yeah.
I love that
Hell yeah.
because they're taking something from the originals, from that original trilogy, and just making it their own. And like, but still like sticking true, not straying too far from the path either.
Yeah.
There are a lot of like formulaic things about this game
Yeah, there's a
that
chicken.
is true to Fable. Yeah, you're kicking chickens, right?
Kicking chickens.
Um,
Some
but
chickens
you
are bigger
starting
than
as a
me.
kid, you start as a kid, something bad happens, you go on an adventure,
Yep.
right? Like it looks like it starts the same way. Apparently, your grandma's turning to stone. That's not a spoiler. They talked about it, and
I mean, we have not played the game,
but
so yeah, it's not a spoiler.
yeah, it really feels like they're taking what we had before and these very loved games. So like anything like this is going to be dangerous, you
Yeah.
know, as far as like people are going to be so critical of this, like especially the ones that love that original franchise.
Yeah. As they
And
should be. I mean,
as somebody, right? Yeah, you should want good things, especially when it is something that you love. I remember criticizing somebody for being a Star Wars fan and not liking the new movie, like the
mm,
first of the trilogy when it first came out. And I was like, oh man, like why not just enjoy it? And he was like, I get to be upset about a thing that I love.
true.
And I was like, you know what, bro, my bad. You know, like
You
you
don't
are
get to make other
correct.
people upset about what you love, but yes,
Right,
you just
right.
picked the
Yeah.
most
But
toxic
like
fandom.
but
But yeah.
he was just complaining out loud and I was
Mhm.
like, and he
Right.
was like, no, no, I get to say
Right.
this.
Right.
And
Right.
I'm like, you know
Fair.
what, man? Like
That's fair.
you're right.
Yeah.
So and there's probably gonna be people out there still. But me as a fan, I love those first three games. Like I only played I had a 360, you
Mhm.
know, for a good bit, and like the nothing that was the only Xbox I ever owned. But I got to play all of the Fables with that 360.
Because they
Thank
always had
you,
backwards
backwards
compatibility.
compatibility.
Yeah.
Yes. And yeah, it was one of the main things I was looking forward to when I got a 360 is I
I
was
bet.
gonna get to play Fable because I was always like a Nintendo or PlayStation
Mm.
kid growing up. Kai is not a thing. It's a guy that's a kid, you
It's
know.
okay. I can't say Forza Horizon, so it's fine.
But yeah, man, so many things about this look awesome. Like you're explaining all the details, like in the life. Apparently, you can just follow one of these NPCs, and they're going to have their own
They
little
had their own
routine
lives.
throughout the day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and the way that they're like reacting to you, like you know, as you're making these decisions, it's something that we saw to an extent, but they're extending that extent so much more now. Like it seems so detailed as you
Mhm.
wish it would be. They really are just going above and beyond with this stuff, and I
Absolutely.
can't wait, bro. I can't wait.
And it's going to be fully open world. And you're
Right.
apparently going to be able to access that open world pretty early on. At first, I was like, because in my mind, I remembered it being open world. But then actually, after I thought about it, I was like, oh, you are loading into different areas. If anything, it's open
Yeah,
world.
it's open area.
Yeah, yeah,
I would call it.
yeah. And
Right.
just like, yeah, I mean, to be fair, 360. Granted, I mean, obviously, Fallout 3 is on there. There's other examples, but regardless, this if it looks like this at launch, because it's always the thing of like we got to see it on it, like we got to see where you're not playing it at your house. I'm gonna see it at mine. If it looks like this, holy crap! The other elephant in the room here is it is launching day and date on PlayStation. Um, so yeah, there you go,
Which is
PlayStation heads.
when because we watched the showcase right before this. The showcase came out earlier in the day,
Yeah.
and me and Chris ended up on break at the same time. Ran into each other in the kitchen of all places. Am I right?
It's our
And
water cooler.
uh,
We do get water from
how's the
there.
day going, buddy? And like that's actually what we say. And he was like, dude, Fable's going to be on PS5 like day one. And I
Day
was
one.
like, blasphemy, blasphemy. Like
Right.
that's crazy. It's insane to think about because Fable has been that, and I know that there's been a crossover as of late. Like we have a lot of Xbox
Yeah,
things
but at least
going over there.
specifically like you and me, like our generation and everything, like
Right.
you had to
Fable
have those exclusives.
specifically
Right.
has just
You see an
always
Xbox, you
been
think of Master Chief and Fable. Like you see those
right.
cover arts. Those were always over there. Of course, you also get the gears and whatnot, but those were just like the big ones that other like people would tell me about them because I didn't have the
Yeah.
original Xbox. I did get a 360. I started with Halo 3 on that thing, and then I did play Fable 2 and 3. I never went back to 1 because I just never saw the reason. Um, but yeah, dude, like we're mixing, and we kind. I say we. Xbox kind of has to. because they own so many studios, even despite the ones they've already cut. Like I feel like them focusing on the publishing side of things, because I mean they have the people. Um, they can also be the ones saying we have the games, and then just put it everywhere else. And guess what? That's just more people playing the game you're wanting to make money off of. And I feel like that's just, again, I don't know business. I like that. But that just makes a lot of sense to my little brain. I just like more people playing your game. That's more people buying it. And even though it's day
Right.
one on Game Pass, you're still getting your subscriptions there. I've no idea. They never will tell us like what that success looks like. Obviously, when we thought it was doing really great, it wasn't enough for them. I don't know,
Right.
but just like great for us consumers. But yeah, like
Right.
there's so many ways to go about this, and then at the same time, a PlayStation fan who's never had the Xboxes, um, you get this really pretty new trailer that just shows like you're able to create your own character in this world. You're able to do this, do that, do this. It's very much like, dude, you're building your own journey in this thing. And it is beautiful. It is gorgeous. The gameplay looks fun. And oh my god, the lighting's insane. And just like
Right.
guys, it's not just on the other side of the fence. It's right here with you. That's crazy. It is crazy, and it is something to like get used to. Um, but it's here. It's here. I guarantee you. I imagine the Forza thing where like PlayStation's coming out later. I'm guessing it's like a technical thing because again we talked
Hmm.
about how
Right.
detailed that is. Like I'm sure there's like a literal reason. Like oh hey, we got to see because timed exclusivity doesn't work that way. Like you do not know when Hades 2 is coming to something other than the Switch 2 and the PC.
Right.
They don't
Not
tell
until
you.
it gets announced,
Right.
like,
They do not
this
tell you.
summer or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
100%. So yeah, that's just how this is working now. And I don't think it's a bad thing. I do completely understand and I do sympathize with the folks who've been like because that's the perspective you and me have not been in. Like the Xbox onlys that have just always been in that ecosystem who have not spread to PlayStation or like Switch or whatnot. Like there might be feel like a little bit of betrayal, especially, and this is on Xbox 100%. They sure put out a lot of verbiage and messaging that sure made it seem like none of this was going to happen. But as more and more time went on, the writing just became much more clear on the walls, and it's here we are. But here's the thing, it's not going to take away from you, and like I know that's like making small of it, but literally it's just other people that you can even talk to about playing your game. Like it, we obviously got to get to a world where cross saves are a thing as well with everybody and all that good stuff. Um, but this is ultimately, I think, a really good thing because like you talk
Yeah.
about it all the time. Like you don't even want exclusives to happen.
Very anti-exclusivity
Right.
for sure.
So
Like you said, like I get it when it's a technical thing. Like, oh,
right.
like that
Sometimes you
system
got to
can't
delay
run
it. Like
this.
you should have
Like,
delayed
okay,
Mortal Kombat one.
that makes
But yeah.
purple sense. Oh my god, yeah, or just not done it. But the
Probably.
but like I love to see it because I feel like we are getting closer and closer to
Yeah.
that time. Like it's just as the consumer, as the gamer, I want to play games
Right.
and like having to buy multiple, hundreds of dollars of consoles to be able to play this game or that game. Like, man,
And we're reaching a
like
point like we're seeing graphics that like I don't know what else you're doing to it. Like obviously, again, like specifically for what we're talking about today, what was shown, we got to wait till it's like on an actual console. What does this look like? All that good stuff. But I don't think anyone's going to cyberpunk us. We love them. We get to say that.
right,
Where they show
right.
you like the pre-built PS5 footage saying that's PS4. Like it's. I think we're past that stuff. Hopefully, I know history does have a chance, has the nasty knack of repeating itself, but we're getting to that point where like is it worth like what was the PS5 was like around 5 6 like it was between $500 and $600 like, and now it's more expensive because they increased the prices and everything
Right.
and it's just like Switch 2 is going to be right around that corner, man. um and just there's a point where like I the console's not going to be worth it, and I do think unfortunately Xbox people are seeing that because they're not being bought. Like
Yeah.
they were part of the shortage too for a while when the PS5 and Xbox Series S X sorry came out, and now ever since that's been like come back, like you find them everywhere
and
and all that stuff.
and they're addressing that too by like not everything's an Xbox type shit. Like
Right.
people are like playing Xbox on their fridge because it has an app and stuff
Ernest
like
plays
this.
it
You
on a
know, like
TV.
yeah, I cloud game
He
my
cloud
Game Pass
games.
stuff.
He cloud games.
So and it works well,
That's
you
good.
know? Like I've
Yeah,
played it on a not so great connection before and it was that's rough. But like if you've got
yeah.
good internet, it's great, man. It's
Yeah.
really great. Like I never bought an Xbox. I only play for Game Pass and it's right there
Right.
available. It's most likely how I'm going to play Fable. It's definitely how I'm going to play Forza.
Right.
um, Beast of Reincarnation was good, baby.
Hell yeah.
You know, Kiln, I see you. I'll see you on my TV. No console.
On my
It's
TV.
wonderful. Right.
But yeah, no, I'm right there with you. Because first of all, if it's on Game Pass, I already have Game Pass. It's like, I mean, it's just you play it there. Other than that, like I do think it's really cool that you do have the option to buy it somewhere else. Like that's
Yeah.
completely
We're talking
um
about, being a trophy hunter and
right.
like sometimes it's like, oh, this has pretty good trophies. I think I want that plat. Let me go ahead and spend some money on
Right,
it.
right, right.
That's fine too, man. Like
Yeah,
just having that option, it's beautiful.
it's
Yeah.
awesome. But yeah, man, Fable looks incredible. I and so I told myself this because Fable's another one that everyone's like, is it even coming out this year? I still don't know. So, um, uh,
I
what do you got?
vote yes.
You
I
just want
think
it
it
to be
will.
out. You just want it to be out. Um, so we'll
Yeah,
see.
that's him.
Obviously, dude, yeah, I wanted to be out, dude. I
Right.
play it right
Yeah, it's
now.
not like you're rooting against it or
Right.
anything.
I'll
You're
play it
just
right
being a
freaking now,
realist.
man.
You're just
Um,
being a realist. That's
but
all.
you got to bear in mind, we went from a 2026, like we went from nothing to a 2020. Well, no, we had 2025. It got pushed out. We had only 2026. Now they're saying autumn 2026. We know that there's another big hitter coming out in the fall. Again, also one that's up for like, is it coming out this year? Um, and we're gonna see. We're gonna see. In a perfect world, everything Xbox has announced. So like we have Gears of War E Day that's set for 2026. We
Mm.
have Halo Master Chief Collection also coming out this year, and we have Fable and Forza Horizon. I do. I first of all, I will say, starting off right there, I think Forza and Halo are guaranteed to come out this year. Um, because like first of all, the sad thing is Halo is launching without multiplayer, so they took a part out of it. It's just a campaign, co-op, but it's just a campaign. Um, and then the other part of that is everything they showed for Forza. I mean, I think they're ready to just do it, and they have an actual release date, which helps with
Mm.
that, which is actually very soon.
Right. And
Um,
it is. It is right around the corner.
100%, 100%. Gears of War E Day again right now is just 2026, and then Fable, which is now autumn 2026. I do think those are the gray areas. We're gonna see how that goes. Um, I'm just saying I'm not gonna be surprised if Fable does get pushed out. But like I really after this showcase, I was like, I really don't want you to get pushed out this year.
Yeah, man. It
It's
looks
like
awesome. That
it looks
combat, bro.
it looks
That
fun.
combat
It looks
looks
fun.
so crisp. It looks so fun. Your different abilities and
Yeah,
stuff like that too, like the magic you're throwing out there. It all looks so good.
yeah. I
Yeah,
feel
come
like
on.
so like obviously Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, I don't think it's necessarily fair to call it like an underdog anymore. Like first of all, it got a sequel. That wasn't just granted to
Look,
them. Like it sold enough to do that. But like at the same time, it's now an award nominee for multiple things. And I'm sure it's actually won like some of those. But like by nature, it is an RPG, truest of which that is designed to be like obtuse. Like
mhm,
it's not a smooth experience. Like you'll find your rhythm, you'll find your way of doing it, and when you get to that point, that's where people are like, this is the sweet spot. This is freaking amazing. I love this.
mhm.
But understandably, for some people, it's gonna be a little too obtuse. Like, dude, my shoes are broken. What the hell do you want me to do? I have to walk to go get other shoes. Stuff like that. And it's just
Yeah.
like, oh my god, I did all this and I'm hungry. Am I dying? Where's my dog? Like, it's all these things. Um, but I do feel like Fable is going to give you the much more approachable RPG experience if you did sleep on that.
Mm.
And I don't mean that to be like one's more than the other. They're very different
Right.
players.
It's Kingdom comes a little like survivalist along with it though,
Right.
like
And
the way
that
you're
and that's
explaining.
that
Yeah,
survivalist part is mainly what I mean by like, hey, if you, because there's no way, because me, I have FOMO. That's how I own Kingdom Come Deliverance too. Like I have FOMO. I feel that. And if people talk about something passionately enough, like there was a day on this podcast, Ernest talked really nicely about Ghost of Tsushima, and I downloaded it and played it for a day. That's before I did my replay last year preparing for Yoti. This was a few years back. Like it just happens. Like we did our first three
that
episodes.
that was the open world episode, I
Oh,
believe.
probably so. And I yelled
Yeah,
at him during
yeah,
that.
he did. He was like, "What do you mean that's your
What do
number
you
one?"
mean? Because I thought it
And
was
then I
like,
talked
no.
about like the meaning of it to me and stuff. Like
Yeah, and like
I
that
love
was
the
complete
game.
garbage, but
Yeah,
I was like, you know what? That sounds like a fun game. But Red Dead's a masterpiece. Anyway, but like along
really
with
good.
that, just like it's easy to sway me is all I'm saying, and just like I know there's others out there and stuff like that, but like dude, Fable looks like it's gonna be it. I don't think it's gonna just be up for RPG of the year from what we're seeing here. Obviously early, dude. I know early. And
Nah,
we're
let's
gonna
call it.
wait a little longer than we did last year before we make some predictions. I'll tell you that. I remember there's the one year we were like Hogwarts is gonna be up there, crazy.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
um,
Because it was good. It was
and
so
then it
good.
was
That was
good.
a
No
packed
hate,
year.
no
That was
hate.
a packed year.
Right. It was, but
Yeah.
it was very good. But like, I do think we're looking at, and we can say this, like, it looks like it would be a go to contender. Like, it looks like it's gonna be a very good game, and we'll see, of course, more when it actually comes out, the preview stuff like that. But yeah, man, I hope it lands this year. Like, I hope beyond hope. Getting high off that hopium, and what we're gonna see how it goes. But Ernest, that does wrap us up on our showcase thoughts. Do you have anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
Not after that. We have to end it
Getting high
now.
off the hopium. We will be back next week. We are going to be doing a bingo card. Though it is too early for us to be calling our shots about who's going to be getting nominated for Game of the Year, we can vote. Well, not vote. We can put down what we think is going to just happen in the industry. We're going to keep it fun and not put negative things like Ubisoft gonna
What you
fuck up.
think?
Like it's already happened, first of all, so that's cheating. Uh, but yeah, we'll.
That's the free space in the middle. Yeah.
It's just perpetual. Like it's the guaranteed.
Yeah.
Um, and again, I'll joke. All joking aside, our thoughts go out to the people who were laid off there, and I do hope the working conditions and everything do get better. But those CEOs, y'all suck. All right, y'all. What do you call them? The people who wear the ties. Screw them all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Tie wearing motherfuckers, dog. Mm.
Motherfuckers. But that is going to be our thing next week, planning out our bingo card for the year. And the winner, because there will be steaks, there will be pizza. The winner, so the loser has to buy the winner pizza, and it cannot be from Little Caesars.
The Za King
The Za King.
2026.
But Ernest, as we wrap up our first gaming episode of the year, where can people find us for more content?
So, if you'd like to stay up to date with the show, you can find us out here on all these social medias, baby. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, and YouTube. And if you'd like to reach us directly, you can find us at lifeisstorytelling at gmail.com. We appreciate any and all feedback, and we fucking love you.
We love you so much. Thank you all for tuning in, hanging out. We hope you had a great holiday. We hope you're having a great new year. I know the month is like already almost over, but we've missed you. So if y'all have anything y'all want us to cover, want us to check out, please comment. Let us know because we've gotten some requests about types of content to do, and we live together now. We just got to get some tech together to make some things happen, but we're working on it. But thank you all for tuning in,
Mhm.
hanging out, and have a great rest of your week.